Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Now, US President Barack Obama signed into law an overhaul of the entire banking and Wall Street regulations that is set to save the US economy from slipping deeper into an economic abyss. Now, the law, pushed through mainly by Democrats in Washington's deeply partisan environment, comes almost 2 years after the near financial meltdown in 2008. The legislation gives the government new powers to break up companies that threaten the economy, shines more light on financial markets that escape the oversight of regulators, and creates a new agency to guard consumers in their financial transactions. Obama described them as common sense reforms that will help people in their daily lives.
Because of this law, the American people will never again be asked to foot the bill for Wall Street's mistakes. There will be no more tax-funded bailouts, period. These reforms represent the strongest consumer financial protections in history. In history.
Well, it's not just the recession that's worrying the IT industry. Another issue lying at the core is threatening to dislodge the IT majors from the growth curve. Students who pass out from IT courses hope to take on the world with their knowledge. But it seems that they will realize soon that all they just learned was actually outdated. Ashmit Kumar has this report.
Even as IT bellwethers look beyond the Euro crisis, there is yet another worry that is beginning to appear on the horizon for the IT sector. It is not only about the volume of demand for professionals, but also about the quality of education that is being offered to the IT aspirants. The sector is increasingly getting worried about the employability of wave after wave of IT graduates. The industry fears that the gap between the education system and the industry demands would engulf the progress of the sector.
We would like the student to know a lot more on how to apply the information than about the subject itself.
With rapid advancements in technology, the education pipeline is seen as stagnant, failing to keep pace with the industry requirements. Industry captains prescribe greater integration and interaction between the industry and the education sector.
We are not very sure whether we have the academic infrastructure to meet that kind of a demand, to take the supply side of the equation. So that's the reason why the industry has been talking to academic institutions, to the government, to industry bodies, saying that this is an important area.
Thus was born the ICT Academy for Tamil Nadu, a unique private-public partnership between the Tamil Nadu government and the CII. The Academy's mandate is to equip the teachers with the latest advancements with the objective of arming IT graduates with the necessary skills.
So if you put up an education, in a university, if you are putting a syllabus, it has to be changed on time and again because the technology is changing time and again. So we need to, the gap will always be there. We always require a kind of a training module which will at least lessen the gap.
However, response to this initiative has been lukewarm at best, with only a few IT companies coming forth. Here, experts caution that a proactive approach is vital for creating a pool that would feed the manpower needs of a dynamic IT sector. In Chennai, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu.
Well, often when you left office and wondered if you can catch a late night drink, well, the Chennai police have made things harder for all late-night birds by cracking down on bars that serve liquor after the stipulated time of 11 p.m. A popular bar, it seems, in Kottayambakkam that you see on your screens on ECR Road was forced to close down as it remained open for too long. Well, he may just be proven not guilty of all charges related to sexual harassment, but the Indian women's hockey coach's resignation has put the Sports Authority of India in a fix, with neither party sure of how to resolve the situation.
जो बात हमने क्लियर करनी थी वो कमेटी के आगे क्लियर कर दी है और उसके बाद निर्णय फेवरेबली होगा, मेरी फेवर में ही होगा, लेकिन मैं टीम कोचिंग कंटिन्यू नहीं करना चाहूँगा.
A confusing situation indeed. MK Kaushik knows he's not guilty of sexual harassment, but clearly he doesn't want the job anymore. The committee members who heard him out also seem convinced that he is innocent.
The player has said without any proof. That's nothing is supporting. If a third person is saying yes, I have also heard what he used to tell the players. So she has nothing to explain on this issue.
So far, there's been only one player who's made allegations in a letter which has been signed by the rest of the team members. But now a lot of other voices are coming forward in the form of former players who've been sidelined. And that makes one wonder if there is a conspiracy theory behind all this.
It's not a shocking thing because मैं जब टीम में तो ये बात हुआ था, लेकिन ऑफिशियल के बीच में ही हो रहा था, टीम मेंबर्स के साथ नहीं हो रहा था.
Meanwhile, the interim body that is running hockey in India doesn't seem to have many ideas on how to resolve the issue. It's not even clear if they will make an attempt to get Kaushik to change his mind if he is officially cleared of these charges.
So Hockey India will now compile the reports from both the parties and submit it to the Sports Authority of India. Hockey India itself cannot do anything about it. It has to be done by SAI because both the video analyst and the coach are employees with the Sports Authority of India. With Vimal Mohan in New Delhi, Suprita Das for NDTV.
Well, it's an open war between actor Simbu and director Lingaswamy, with Simbu now left fuming over being fired from a Dayanidhi Alagiri production. It all started with reports of Simbu being sacked by Lingaswamy in the upcoming movie in what the director called his unprofessional behavior. Now, that unprofessional behavior, according to the director, was because he signed Vanam before that movie. But now the little superstar has come out with his version, saying he was asked by director Lingaswamy to do a film with director Bhupati Pandyan, but later the scenario changed and the film was to be produced by Dayanidhi Alagiri's Cloud9 with Lingaswamy directing it. And that he was surprised to learn through the media that he was sacked because of all this.
Actually, I was really shocked when I came to know about the news, but I don't know why the whole issue happened and whatever. It was almost been 160 days since we have not started shoot, and all my dates have been wasted. And still now I haven't heard the whole script, and they didn't give me the proper dates. And that was the issue. And with Cloud9 I have no issues because Durai is a very good friend of mine and we have a great rapport and we are planning to do some other movies in future. So I don't know why Lingaswamy came up with this whole statement.
Well, that's a wrap on this show. News and updates continue.